in shaping of the fourth president to actually become the statesman he became, then he is not literally any other person. Having said that, upon his impeachment, all of us knew that he was done politically. He might not, in Kamanya's words, have been a Mount Kenya kingpin when he was deputy president. But very few would argue with that fact now, that today his home has turned into a shrine. And people do not flock to places where there is no power. If you want to see where power is, you see where the traffic is going. So even as Kamanya speaks here, he knows too well that in central Kenya and Mount Kenya, literally, there is a shift in power dynamics. And honestly, you cannot wish Rigathi away. Places that were quote-unquote political backwaters like Embu, all of a sudden are now tinderboxes, courtesy of Rigathi. You want to actually take that for granted? No, we are having whole CSs outside of responding to that particular move. I saw a CS explaining herself in town, speaking to hawkers, and the CS had to first of all use the former deputy president's name as a password to come. Like, I know he is a friend to your member of parliament. I do not have a problem with him. I am here to work with you. We have no problem with him. If a sitting CS is using the second deputy president's name as a password to access an audience, you cannot wish that man away. So whatever way you look at him, and I also see he's being very systematic. When he started with Mount Kenya, it looked like it was a joke. It almost looked like it was a flop. After his impeachment, it looked like it was a flop. All of a sudden now, he's actually a buzzword there. Secondly, I see what he's doing. After dealing with Mount Kenya and he feels like he has it completely a little bit under control, he's moved to the second mountain in this country. He's going to Western. And he's speaking to them. And yesterday, if you followed that, I followed that for about 1 hour, 20 minutes. He didn't go to them appealing to them. He was telling them, if you want, not like he's coming to actually fall down to them. It was a very candid conversation. So if you are to analyze properly, any person looking at what Rigiji is doing will not take it for granted. If you see what has happened in the mountain, he didn't look like the typical Mount Kenya kingpin. He didn't look like that person who sweeps the Mount Kenya type of, who can actually put a little bit of fever in there. But he's there and people are complaining. So from where I sit, I don't think that even the planners of the next elections, those who are working for the regime, will tell you that they really do not think that he's doing something. He is doing something. It is impactful. And I will actually say, I know Meshach might not be interested in what happens to Rigiji. But as a Westerner, I know that the future of Kenya is Western. The sixth president must be a Lunje, whatever happens. Right. So you heard it first from me. Having said that,
that's a new one.
But then I just needed quickly to say this. I know we are on set, we've not looked at that, but I've just seen that the US has actually frozen 1.7 billion shillings that was for the Haiti mission. And therefore, the US has actually just betrayed its non-NATO ally, and it abandons our sons in the battlefield. It is unfair.
Well, that's a serious piece of news, and of course we'll be looking at it as we proceed with the day. Thank you so much, Arnold Maliba, public policy analyst, Meshach Odede, political commentator, Kathy Rungu, also political commentator, and Josephat Kamanya, political analyst. Our panelists this morning on State of the Nation, very interesting discussions around the security and politics of our country. After the break, matters relationships. When to forgive, or is it too soon?